So in times of disruption, two things, more than two, but two of the things that are very important is transparency and accessibility. So this is a time to be as authentic as possible with your followers, your employees, your clients. I want to point out repeatedly that leaders are not perfect. They are going through a transformation as they lead because they are learning leaders and they know that knowledge is provisional. So it's a progressive elaboration where these leaders are transforming into better future states, and so are the followers.
Transformational learning occurs when the learner is willing to change. If we're not willing to change, we have not experienced transformational learning. It's not about filling our heads up with knowledge. It's about walking the talk.
So the case study was undertaken to identify if there was transformational leadership behavior in the organization, and then to see what impact that behavior had on employees' performance, motivation, perception, etc. The leaders wanted to measure the impact of their behavior on others within the organization and identifying any gaps that there were between perception and reality, and finally to strengthen communication to close that gap so they were able to be competitive with their product and service offerings. As I said, I wanted to, in this case study, not look at the person's character or their title, if you will, but just look straight at their behavior. And then not just behavior, but the sustained behavior. Superior organizational success is boosted by positive leadership behavior. Leaders' behaviors drive employee follower motivation, creativity, performance, and productivity. The authentic transformational leadership is a leadership that is governed by selflessness. This individual is organizationally focused, and their behavior is usually ethically or morally driven. We also have the pseudo-transformational, which is driven usually by self-interest by that leader. There's a lot of ego in this type of leadership. This leadership model or behavior is driven by change, sometimes uncertainty, fear, and disruption is a situation that can drive fear into leaders, and thereby they lead with fear or lead by fear. We talked very extensively about change versus transformation, how they're not the same. Change is binary. You can move from one state to another, but you can also revert to the previous state. And usually with change, there's a mental assent only, and there's not a full-on commitment to that change. Transformation, however, is a continuous evolution to future better states. It's very difficult to reverse because of the infrastructure that accompanies the transformation. You're transformed by renewing your mind. And then there's a paradigm shift, not just mental assent, but as I mentioned, the infrastructure, the belief system, the mindset, the behavior, everything kind of goes along with this transformational process.
It's very important that you manage the stakeholders' expectations. And it's not managing the stakeholders. At the very beginning of the class, I talked about you lead people and you manage processes.
It's very, very apparent that this world needs transformational leaders. It needs authentic transformational leaders to give voice to the voiceless, to be visionaries, to take the company to the next level, to expand on what the company might offer, to bring your dream to fruition, and so forth.